Oh boy. Oh boy, are you ready for some anime? I'm ready for some anime. Welcome to the Apparently this is a continuation of the anime block. From what I saw on Twitter for this, lovely games here. So I hope you all enjoyed crabs. There's a giant crab in this game too. You'll get to see it soon. Anyway, hi, I'm Kariohki, and this is gonna be Magic Knight Rayearth. Any percent no Polizu skip category, which is like the main category of the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the Saturn a reset here so I can get some good RNG at the start, and I will give a countdown for when to go ahead. So. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
This land.
Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is a glitch. We're gonna go walk into a wall. Once the game loads up. Aw, come on, she had to walk a little bit farther down. Come on. Come on. Please walk down. Oh, she is not having it today, is she? So what I need to do is I need this NPC to get above me again and then walk down while I am holding left on the D-pad so she pushes me into the wall. And then I need to, you'll see what happens after that. Once she gets back over here. Come on. Walk down. Come on. There we go. So we're gonna go ahead and walk up until the screen stops scrolling. Okay, we got it. And hold up and right, and if you can look at the top left there, my HP is draining. For some reason I got all 3 characters already, and it needs to drain the HP of all 3 characters. And then it's going to warp me to the first town. Because sure, why not? So we call that the Tokyo Tower skip, because that first area is Tokyo Tower. And that saves about 30 to 40 minutes off of the run. What we normally have to do is go upstairs, talk to people, go through a bunch of voiced scenes, which you cannot mash through, and go through a tutorial dungeon and a few bosses. Okay, my controller. There we go. Alright, cool. Okay, I think that was some general game lag. My controller was not responding there, trying to change my text speed settings and control settings there. That was weird, I've never seen that happen before. Anyway, we skip a bunch of the opening parts of the game there by doing that skip. So now we're in the first town, and we need to go talk to that guy up in the northeast, and then to the mayor, and apparently this town is having some monster problems, and we're the Magic Knights, so we're gonna go solve the problem. So you might be wondering, why is this category not just called any percent? Why is it any percent no Polizu skip? And what is a Polizu anyway? Polizu is the town that we are currently in. And right at that scene there where we're talking to that old man that came up and yelled at us, if there's another glitch called the map glitch, where we can shrink our sprites down to the world map size and change our collision detection, and then we can, if we do it at that point, when you be mashing the map button at a certain frame, it's usually a frame perfect trick, after that cutscene ends, we'd be able to go out of bounds and walk to the final dungeon from here. But that is a very difficult run to do, and that's also a very difficult glitch to do at that point, because you need to walk out of bounds and you can't see where you're going. It's very easy to get stuck. So the main category that actually plays the whole game is the no Polizu skip category. Go ahead up here and grab a safety potion. So here's the second dungeon of the game, or the first one for the run. This one kind of teaches you, well, the first dungeon that we skip over kind of just teaches you about movement and jumping over gaps and how to fight enemies. This one brings in the puzzle elements to the game. There's going to be a lot of block puzzles. And yep, this is based on a actual manga/anime series. The manga came first, and they made an anime out of it. All of the cutscenes that you will not be seeing in this run were taken from the anime. Popular, relatively popular 90s anime series by Clamp. Clamp also did shows like Angelic Layer and Chobits and a little one called Kariohki Sakura. You might have heard of that one. I don't know. Oh, I didn't push it far enough. Okay. Oh, okay. Just push it too far. There we go. Something else that people don't realize also is that, this game exists in the first place. It's, for the Saturn. Most people remember the Super Famicom RPG game, which is a little bit more standard of an RPG than this one's an action RPG in comparison. Because the Super Famicom one got a fan translation. It was just generally more accessible. Was the final commercially released Saturn game in the US. Oh, I got a slight displacement there, which is cool. A little bit farther out in the cutscene. Again, just for marathon safety. Also, because we skipped the first dungeon, we didn't get our first level up in the game, because level ups are mostly story-based, and level ups will increase your health and magic by 1, as the bars at the top, and also increase your attack power a little bit. So we're level 0 right now, because we skipped over all of that. Alright, and Fu got her first magic. And now you can see that her... Okay, we're gonna wait for these guys to move out of the way. We're gonna wait for these guys to move out of the way, I said. Come on. Okay, there we go. Okay, there. We need to keep Fu alive, which is why I switched characters, because she is needed for the next room. If she wasn't alive, then I'd have to leave the dungeon or use my health potion. And I won't use my health potion this year. I can turn the game audio down here in a second for you. Once I hit the next loading screen, I'll grab it. Actually, this text box here. Alright, let me know if that's better. So now we're gonna fight a giant enemy crab. using magic when you don't have any MP left? Wait for that to go by just to... With it. Well, I'm doing a glitch known as the magic glitch. Very creative name there. I am switching to Fu, who has MP, and then on the same... Okay, I'm going to be switching to Umi now because that boss just killed Fu. Anyways, I am switching to another character who has MP, and then on the same frame, so I'm pressing the buttons at the same time to switch character and to use magic. And I'm able to use magic with the character who doesn't have any MP, because the game is reading that, oh, I have MP, but I'm casting the magic of the character that I'm switching to. And basically, you just have infinite MP to cast magic spells that way, and that becomes very important at the end of the game, because we are missing so many level ups. Yeah, I hit his weak spot with magic for massive damage. So in the end, like plot-wise, this other magic dude that was in the town was the one who had the barrier around the cave in the first place, and we just told the villagers that, hey, he's the one that cleared the monsters out and did a good deed, and everyone's celebrating for him. And from that, Hikaru gets her first level up, second level up, but first one for the purposes of this run. On to the next town. Right. I need to buy a mana potion for safety. Can't forget to do that. And I need to remember to get both crystals chests in the next dungeon so I can have money for another mana potion just in case. So here we have a nice comfy beach town. And we're gonna go up and talk to the mayor and find out what's going on here. I don't know if he's the mayor or not, he's just the dude we have to talk to. So we need to get up to the island in the north because there's like a ice island up there, and one of the machines that we're looking for, because we're looking for these machine items thingies, is in the ocean, and there's an ocean here. But right now, the ocean is full of whirlpools, and there's no ships running because that's dangerous. And the only person that can teach us how to swim, because swimming through whirlpools is safer than, you know, taking a ship through them, left town. And he left town because of this girl's pet that he wasn't able to save. And he felt guilty and just kind of skipped town. So luckily he's in the only other town we've been to, and we can just head back there via the world map. There's a shortcut to go on the world map and go talk to him. But he's not going to teach us how to swim because he's feeling really down on himself. So he refuses to come back with us, and we're just gonna go back to the other town and maybe try to figure something else out on our own. So in the whole skip section that we didn't do, we basically get transported from Tokyo Tower into this other world called Sephiroth, and we meet this priest named Clef. He gets turned to stone after telling us what castle by the evil priests they got. And then we go through a forest because we get told by this lady named Precia that she needs to make weapons for us, and we go get her some ore, and we get her the ore, and she makes us her weapons, and, you know, that's the whole beginning of the game there. So, you know, if you think about it, this anime is one of the earliest, not earliest, but earlier entries in the very popular isekai genre that has taken the anime world by storm in the past 5 or so years. You know, before all your Sword Art Onlines and dot hacks and the time I was turned into a slime, we had Magic Knight Rayearth. So here now we convinced the guy to teach us how to swim, also because he came back to town ahead of us somehow and was talking to that little girl who was fine, even though she got over her pet drowning and said, like, you tried, it's okay. So he's gonna teach her how to swim now. Fu can't swim, so she gets a little floaty.
Clef!
And Precia's Mysterious Sephiroth Lecture number 2! Hikaru and the others have mastered
Inuyasha
the
is
skill
totally
known
an
as
isekai.
Roaring Rapid
It's just a
Wave
little
Cut.
different because she can go back and forth at her will.
In other words, the girls have learned how to swim like beavers.
Now they can journey to the ice cave on the island to the north.
By pressing the attack button while in the water, the girls swim forward. It's that easy.
Okay, that's it for now. We hope you're enjoying the game.
See you later, kids.
So there's our first little bit of voice acting in the game. Working Designs, they're the company that translated and published this game in the US, didn't put as much voice acting in the main game as the Japanese version has. The Japanese version has way more voice text. Instead, Working Designs, they did some of the illustrated diary voices instead. One whirlpool, 2 whirlpools, up and right, and then straight up. Alright, we just have to go all the way around, and then we found like a shortcut through that section there. So, the US version of this, like I said, it was the last commercially released Saturn game in the US. It took 3 years to be localized due to many things, including some of the source code of the hello. Just smack Hikaru, and I need her later, so that's not good. We're not gonna have her although I do have a healing spell, so if things get really bad I can just heal. That is not the way I wanted to go. I wanted to go this way. Open this chest, and then through the door. Anyway, so Working Designs took about 3 years to localize this game due to many reasons, including the source code, parts of the source code of the game being lost and having to get recoded, and also the head of Sega of America at the time did not like 2D Japanese games because 3D was the future. So a lot of blocks like that, a lot of delays, but they got the game out. I would like to stop running into enemies so I don't need to waste time healing, please. So here we're gonna learn Hikaru's next magic spell. Actually, I think I will heal here just in case. Enemies, because I need Umi alive to do the magic swap here, because I used Fu's magic up, and now we can just kind of go like, no? That's the button I used. using Fu's healing spell. Actually, I can use magic glitch and oh, there's the treasure chest. I keep forgetting about. Cool. Nope, Umi, come here. I want to switch Fu's magic, and then we're gonna. Nope. Move all those guys, and oh, we got them all. Nice. Usually I miss one or two. So here, just a lot of block pushing. I need to push this one down first. A lot of block pushing puzzles. The controls are a little slippery in general in this game, so it's a little bit hard to grip onto these blocks sometimes. You need to be like dead center to push them too. Alright, Rayearth's done. Some other changes the English version has compared to the Japanese version is it is a degree more difficult. It's not to the extremes that, say, Exile or Kadash or Silhouette Mirage have gotten in their difficulty bumps, but enemies do a good chunk more contact damage and attack damage in the English version, and it actually does make it a little bit more of an enjoyable experience just because of the increased difficulty. You actually have to stay on your toes in some areas because enemies that do 2 damage in the Japanese version do like 8 or 7 in the English version. And also some boss HP might be raised. Not 100% sure on that, but I believe there's a couple bosses that are a little bit have a little bit more HP as well. This is not Power Punch game. I run 3 Working Designs games though. Because why not? So poor Jiminy gets transformed into a giant dragon. And he's gonna be our next boss. Hopefully we can just stun lock him over here and not mess up the magic glitch too much. That's Ascot, by the way. He's one of the evil guys. We totally skipped the first evil person we meet. That's Alcyone. And currently she's encased in crystal because she failed at trapping us. So we're gonna bring Jiminy over to the right side here. Warning, I'm gonna be using this spell a lot. Sorry, it flashes the screen and shakes it because the long animation is probably kind of loud. But this is the best spell to use for a second level spell, and then one more. Once he turns bright red, he's got 1 hit left, so that's Jiminy. We just unlock him on the side there. His attacks include trying to stomp down on us, and he also can turn to a ball and roll around the arena. But he's a monster type boss, which means his iframes don't last as long, and right after he's done like getting hit there, we can just chain another magic spell right into him. There's 2 types of bosses. There's monster type and human type. Most bosses are monster type, so we can just chain hits into them. Their iframes don't last as long. human types usually need to do an attack, or their iframes just last long enough that we can't chain and we have to wait until after the attack is done. There's one boss late, like third to last boss, fourth to last boss. I can count. That looks like a monster, but he's really human type, and he's annoying. So after all that bravery we showed by killing a young girl's pet, the machine Saris awakens and joins our party. He just kind of hangs out in Umi's gem to be used later. Oh yeah, also the US version adds a cutscene skip. You can skip cutscenes by pressing start or C on the controller,
Ascot.
which is very helpful.
Pity that
because
you've
the
returned
cutscenes add
failure.
like 90 minutes, 60 minutes, something like that. It's a good chunk of time to the game. I actually watched all the cutscenes.
Caldina?
Alright, and I didn't use my magic potion, so we're free to go. I haven't been having good luck. But the last time I ran this, a couple weeks ago, I did not have the best time early game with the magic glitch. But here it's pretty good. That's 1, that's 2, that's almost 3. We're gonna go up and right from here. Nope, I was a little too early on that. That's fine. So all the whirlpools are calm now. We can just swim to the next town. Yes, to swim you have to mash the A button. Turbo is allowed in this speedrun. So if you're ever interested in doing this run, we do allow turbo. For that reason, because you have to mash to swim. And because the text skipping is slow enough that the turbo doesn't really matter in going through text, so. Save your wrist, use a turbo controller. I don't have a turbo controller. I only have one Saturn controller. It's the one that came with the system. Alright, so here we see this lady dancing. We're gonna ignore her. And up here, we're gonna see launch through the leg. There we go. See this guy playing a flute. This is Faria. We would have met him in the tutorial area. He kind of, quote-unquote, helps us through. He's just an NPC, really. Fu has a massive crush on Fario, and gets mad that he's charming all the lovely women in town. Crunch through the lag. There we go. The lag between the versions is about equal. The Japanese version has less lag in some places, but more in others, and then those same places don't have lag in the US version, but other places have lag, so. No, this game is this game. The salad toss lot? I don't remember half the text in this game because I haven't played through it casually in so long. There are some very working designs, translations in some of these places where there's one example I'll try to remember to point out later where there's a naughty word on screen and I was watching it in Japanese and I'm like, they just call her something completely different in Japanese. It doesn't mean that. And then my favorite line of text in the game is when you talk to an object on the screen as, I think it says, it's either as Fu or Umi, I don't remember which one. There's this item in an inn you can investigate, because you can investigate items in the game. And each character has a different thing to say about it. And there is a certain AC/DC, I believe, AC/DC song reference on the item. Because it is a giant sphere of a certain azure color. Anyway, we sleep at the inn. Inns don't really do anything in this game other than advance the plot, because you can just heal at the fountains. And we advance the plot to the nighttime where the innkeeper notices all the men in town are heading into this cave here. And Farrah's gonna go check it out, and so are we. Because obviously that's suspicious. So, this dungeon is unique compared to other dungeons because it is just one giant, all put together map. There's no loading screens between sections. And there is a relatively recently discovered skip you can do at the mirror. I'm not going to try it because I have never practiced it. But it saves like 30 to 40 seconds on travel time here. So we're just going to go all the way around. I actually finally get run speed. So I forget how many frames it is or how many cycles a walk cycle. I think it's like 3 walk cycles or a certain number of frames, something like that. You get run speed. Later in the game, we will not be learning how to auto-run because we skipped that. So right here. Alright, I didn't do it. If you attack when approaching the mirror and store your momentum and then jump 12 frames after the text box in which Umi says, "Look, another mirror," you can jump over the mirror, go through the little cutscene of learning the magic, and then just walk to the boss, because you walk behind everything in the dungeon. It was accidentally discovered by Ninjitsu, who's done most of the bug testing in this game, and he finally figured out like the frame countage and how to pull it off exactly. But obviously, I have never tried it. I've never done it. I will maybe eventually get to trying it. But we're doing this the old way, where we have to defeat this enemy first with our magic, because enemies take priority in targeting. So we just use our magic, we get our refill magic here, and then we use our magic again to get rid of the flames. Alright, heal, and head on to the boss. Yeah, only one person, because everyone else got stuck on the geometry. Alright, so here's like one of the most annoying bosses in the game, because she's all the way on the right side of the screen, and we're all the way on the left. Fario's not going to do anything, he's just going to hang out here and look pretty. So why do I use Fu to do the magic push with? Because her magic is the weakest. She only has one attack spell, and it doesn't do as much damage as the other spells. So we use her to one tank and 2 do the push. That was actually the best Bewildering Cave I've done. That was a really solid Kaldina fight. She didn't go off screen a lot, she only went off screen once, and that was during her iframe animation anyway. So, very, very good fight there. And now with this, everyone has leveled up once, and that means everyone now has their charge attack available. If you hold down the attack button, I say A because that's what it's assigned to for me, hold down the attack button, you can charge up your magic, and that non-magic attack. That's also why this boss is so difficult in the speedrun, because normally in a normal run you'd be leveled up already, you'd have your charge attacks, and you could just use Fu's charge attack to hit her because it's a bunch of arrows instead of just one arrow.
Seems my little pet Alcyone
but we only just got Fu's charge attack, so we'd have to like aim with the arrows, and they're not very strong. She doesn't have a level. It would take forever, so that's why the magic glitch was like very helpful to find for this boss. Alright, let's not get lost, because I always get lost at this part for some reason. We need to go back and talk to the innkeeper, and she'll tell us where to go next. Like, we want to leave town now, where do we go? So, we came up this way because there was a volcano that erupted, and one of the machines is supposed to be in a volcano. But, the volcano erupting made this town all covered in snow. And rocks fell, and trapped a bunch, blocked the path to the next town. I accidentally talked twice to the door, okay. I was mashing so fast, I talked twice to the door and had those texts come up multiple times, I think. Unless there's that many text boxes normally, I don't know, I normally don't pay attention here. So we are gonna ask Rafarga to open the path to the next town for us, but he's like, no, I'm being sad right now, and I don't want to journey, I just want to hole up in my ice house, but I'll teach you how to do it. So he's gonna try to teach us how to, break open things. So we spend all day trying to bash into things, and we fail. So he lets us sleep in his giant bed instead of going back to the inn, because the inn's so far down the hill. And I guess he sleeps on the couch. I don't know. So because this is an RPG, there's always a time where we have to go have a heart-to-heart talk at night. And that'll be right now with Rafarga, and he'll kind of give us a little glimpse into his past. I didn't get run speed there, so I was a little slow. Because I bumped into the wall. So, Rafarga here used to be one of the princess's bodyguards, and then they got attacked and kicked him out, and he couldn't do his job, so he felt bad, and he's been holed up here ever since. Upon hearing Umi's scream, Hikaru, runs back in and suddenly bashes the door open because there's a bug. Is there a Hot Springs episode? There isn't in the game. I don't know if there is in the anime because...
Clef.
Oh yeah, this is the
And
best
Precious,
lesson.
Mysterious
It's quiet
Sephiroth
here.
lecture number 3.
you've just mastered the skill known as the pulverizing bash.
Indeed. By running to increase your speed, the power to throw yourselves increases as well. You can destroy places with weak foundations or small cracks with incredible ease.
But be sure to give yourself plenty of room to run so you can increase your speed.
That's right. Make a good approach, start running, and then boom!
That's all for today, kids. We'll let you get back to your game now. Have fun!
Remember, boom!
So if you heard in that one line, you can actually hear the voice actor for Clef snap his fingers before he says boom. I love that. They just left it in. Also, that conversation is basically the same in Japanese, where he's like, remember, boom! Just that he says, I forget what exactly he says. But, so we learned how to do the bashy move, and we're gonna go back and around and up. Please move, thank you. Up this way, past the inn. Please move, thank you. Oop, I got left behind, the people left behind again. So they say you have to have running speed to do the bash move. And there's actually enough of a flag there that in the Japanese version there is a debug code that you can use on the menu to give yourself all the skills. But even if you do that, you still have to see that cutscene of learning it before you can bash through that rock. It doesn't have collision on it or something. Alright, so here's a mini dungeon. Crimson Underpass. The enemies here are very annoying because they move very fast. And so do the fireballs that fly around. They also move very fast. So these fireballs here are moving, I'd say, 3 times faster than they do in the Japanese version. Start back here. Ah, almost. Oh, okay, come on. There we go. Since I'm not running anyway, I'm gonna go up, jump over that guy, and okay. If you do it right, you can just run straight through that room and be fine, but I hecked up. You can use magic there, actually. I always forget I can just use magic there, apparently. to go by. Fire to go by. So here and run in front of me. Think I'm lined up good? Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. I'm like forgetting my controls for some reason. Dodge the fire here. I'm dodging it. That's okay. We're almost out of the dungeon. So up the stairs, up the stairs. Oh cool, I got run speed like right there. Perfect. Not really perfect. Perfect because no one died. Alright, now it's time for my least favorite dungeon in the game. This dungeon's a maze, and you have to get 3 keys to progress, and I always just tend to get lost. Southeast. Also, there's these fire rats or dogs or something that run around and are very fast. You can sunlock you. I just knocked that one out of the wall. Nice. Okay, so we get the first key. Also, they run faster than you if we don't have run speed. Okay, just, you know, not get hit. Thank you. That's perfectly fine. Sorry, I'm a little quiet here just because I gotta concentrate on this part so I don't forget where I am going. And also not get hit by the fire. Or the dogs. Come on, dogs. Come on, dogs. Please. Frankers, please. They squeak, so they must be like rats or something. Is it door? Alright, grant the green key. Grant the green key. Umi does not have her charge shot yet, right? I keep trying to charge up a shot for her, but she does not have her charge shot. I'm just gonna go back over here and get run speed. There we go. Nope, won't make it easier to jump over. Because I'm jumping too high. That's why. Alright, we made it. We're fine from here. Umi gets her charge shot after this boss, not before this boss. She hasn't leveled up yet. Something like that. Anyway, we're at the boss now. Yeah, so that dungeon is a big old maze, and I hate it, and I always tend to get lost and just stun locked by the rats and the fire. But we are at the boss now. Alright, so there's gonna be a naughty word on screen, I'm sorry. Umi has a bad mouth. And calls Alcyone an S-word. It's not really a really bad word, but in the Japanese version, she just calls her old. She just says Oba-chan, and Alcyone gets offended. Like, how dare you call me Oba-chan? I'm not old. hopefully I can stun off this block. Nope. Have to be a little careful because I did get hit once. Alright, we're good. He takes 4 hits after he gets big. So, what I do there, it starts out as 3 little skulls. You hit it twice with Fire Tornado, it becomes 1 big skull. Not Fire Tornado, Water Tornado. This is one of the only bosses with, like, elemental properties. Hikaru's magic does nothing to this boss. You have to use Umi's magic. Fu's magic does, like, a smidge of damage. Not a lot, but Umi's does the most, and you just want to use hers over and over again. So I just want to spam Water Tornado and use a little bit more, I call a little bit more complicated switch between Fu and Umi. I could use Hikaru and Umi for that, I suppose. Just the way I have my control set up, so you kind of realize what I'm doing. I switched it early to the Umi type, which puts character switch on X, or no, Y and Z,
your permission,
and magic is on
lost
C.
To those 3 in your
Switch
name.
magic is
It
on
is nothing
R,
short of a complete
and then map is
disgrace,
on
my
L.
lord.
So what I am doing
take
for the
full
magic glitch is I
responsibility
am
for her
pushing
escape and
Z
her
and
actions.
C,
I am
or Y and C at the same
Prepared
time.
to die, master.
Charming.
And to
but
push Y and Z, I
unnecessary
just
for
put the
now,
controller
Inoue.
on my leg and
Just
push it
continue
down
to
with my
monitor her activities.
first 2 fingers.
As you wish,
Doing with
my
Z
lord.
and C, I can use my thumb usually, but I tend not to, because I'm afraid I'm going to only hit one of the buttons. Alright, so we're out of the burning town now. So, the next town. Now, chat, let me go through this for you. For the next town, we'd have to go to a hospital and talk to a nurse, and she'd tell us to go get some medicine from the Tree of Life, because the tree can make leaves of special things. And then we can't get into the tree, then we have to learn how to run, then we can go through the tree and fight a boss and get the leaf and go back down, and then there's a whole other dungeon, or we have to go through a waterfall maze, and there's a bunch of block puzzles in there. Do you want to do that? Because I don't feel like doing all of that. So, because I don't feel like doing all of that, we're not going to do all of that. So, this next glitch might take a few minutes for me to get. It is a frame-perfect trick. I apologize that you'll have to maybe watch this little tiny cutscene a lot of times, but considering all that I just talked about, this skips a large chunk of the game. Second try. Okay, that is very good. So there's the map glitch I was talking about earlier. Okay, I did not get the follow-up to it, so I do have to leave the map and go back into the town. There's a follow-up to the glitch afterwards, where if you mash the confirm button, I believe it's what I always forget which button it is, so I might be doing it wrong. Where you basically, by doing the map glitch there, I'm pressing the map button on a certain frame where the cutscene ends, basically, and changing my collision so I get and getting pushed slightly out of bounds so I can walk up a pixel or two over and around the boulder that I would have to do 2 dungeons and all this other stuff to normally break through. After you leave the screen, you can mash a button, I forget which one it is, and if you hit another right frame, you break the map glitch and get the connection properly. Basically, you break the glitch and then it makes you map size again, and then you get the connection between the towns properly. We need that later. Okay. And I didn't split there. Oh well. Now for the next most annoying dungeon of the game after we go through these cutscenes here. So here's another inn. Inn means plot. And we're gonna talk to this kid here. So if you notice this kid here, his mouth is moving, but he's not, no sound is coming out. Same with all everybody else in the conversation. This is a glitch from doing the map glitch, I believe. It's kind of a leftover scrap thing where the game thinks these lines are voiced, because they are voiced in the Japanese version, but they aren't voiced here. And a quirk of voiced lines is you cannot skip through them. You have to wait until the voices are done talking. So this section takes a little bit longer than usual to get through just because the game thinks it's talking and it's not. So there is that giant sphere that is a certain color over there that if I talk to it, it says a very funny line. I'm not going to do that because that wastes time. But that's fun. I highly recommend playing this game. It's a very, very solid action RPG. Unfortunately, it is a tad on the expensive side. I believe last time I looked, I want to say it was hovering around $500 for this version. You can play it in Japanese. That version's like $5. But I do enjoy this game very much. It's one of the... There's like a handful of Rayearth games. There's this one. There's a Super Famicom RPG. There's 2 on the Game Gear. One of them is a princess raising game, and the other one is, I think, another RPG. Actually, you know what? I'll show off the funny line. If I remember who to talk to with it is. I think it's Umi. Nope, it's not Umi, it's Phil. Nope. Nope, okay, it's none of them. I didn't see the line. Also, it was like skipping the text for some reason. Anyway. They reference a certain AC/DC song there. Someone, if you talk to that statue from the right angle or something. Yeah, Saturn games, Working Designs games, it like crosses into both of those. There's some lag here. Yeah, I got this for $100, $99 to be exact. Shentok got his copy for like $120. I got this, I think 8 years ago, almost exactly 8 years ago, is when I picked up my copy of this. Please don't. So I feel like taking some damage as I head through this dungeon. But not a ton. I want to get to the end of the dungeon before I die, is what I'm saying. And those chimeras do... what was that? 4 damage a hit. I still have a bit of this dungeon to go through and don't want to completely beef it, like I am doing now. Get out of the way, there we go. I can pick up another health potion in the next area, so that's fine that I use my health potion there. So those Chimera guys move faster than you because the game expects you, as part of skipping the whole last dungeon area, we were supposed to learn the instant dash move, so the game expects you to be able to run whenever you're able to, and I can't do that. So those enemies that are like running faster, and also they are sped up in the US version, they move a lot slower in the Japanese version, as well as doing 4 damage instead of 2 damage, I believe. Their damage is double. Come on, hit me, hit me, hit me. Okay, so they run faster than you and can like stun lock you against walls as that one did. And I didn't want to do that whole half of the dungeon again, so I just threw my potion out. Health potions restore all health and MP, and mana potions restore all MP. So we used a health potion because we need to. And restore all health, I mean, they actually revive you as well. Fu has a healing spell, but it only restores HP to living characters, it doesn't revive characters. Yeah, retro games are spiking in price. Just because all of us people who now have disposable income, or had disposable income, can spend their money to regain their childhood memories, because, you know, back in the day, a lot of people sold their games off and stuff. So second half of this dungeon. So we went through the other side and got a medallion at the end. Now we need to do this, the whole thing again, different layout and stuff on the other side of the lake. This side is a little easier, I believe, is a little bit more straightforward in path. One more level up. 2 more levels up, there we go. We can just walk under this tree. This bridge. These guys. Hop into the water. I said hop into the water, thanks. This. Oh, come on. Thank you. This chest in here is a health potion. I mean, mana potions. Do not need that. Have this. Water. Butterfly. I'm right at the end, and I need to kill that. I need to kill those two, and I need to get running speed here. Come on, running speed. Running speed. Nope, I'm not. I don't have enough space there. Come on. There's a thing called Quick Run that you can do, where you kind of tap the D-pad and watch your arms set a swing a certain way, and you can get running speed in a very short amount of time. I can sort of do it. I'm not too good at it, but... Alright, we'll just take one more death from here, and we're good. Very handy that that guy is right at the entrance of the cave. In the Japanese version, on the Japanese version, in the right side, it's actually faster to just walk back to the start of the dungeon, because it takes a long time to die compared to this one. Because again, the enemies are doing twice as much damage in this version. I think the chimeras do 2. They might just do 1 damage. I think the butterflies do 1. I should know, I just did a playthrough of the Japanese version, and I'm doing one later tonight, and I just totally forget, so. We got the 2 medallions! We're gonna stick them in these slots here because, why not? They fit. I don't know if the game ever explains what you're supposed to do. And it turns out this island here is a giant monster. Because of course. I kind of stopped collecting video games for a while, so everything getting really expensive is a little annoying, because there's still some things, like, I have like half, maybe a little under half of the Work and Designs games still left to buy, and they just keep going up in price. So here's the turtle boss. So you heard Hikaru's voice clip there, and nothing happened. That's because I was one frame off of getting the match mission happening. So Makona, I never talked about Makona. He's the little white guy there. We meet him in the Forest of Silence that we all skipped, and he joins our party and doesn't really do anything. He's cute. So he talks to the monster, and the monster's like, well, there's all this buildup of silt and trees on my back. And that's why I was shaking to get it down, and causing the earthquakes in the town that hurt that kid's mom. I'm sorry. I can take you to the sky. So, we're gonna head to the sky, because that's where one of our machines is. Alrighty. So, once again, not a lot of direction given to us right now. You're supposed to, in normal games, you're supposed to, talk to all the NPCs and eventually figure out where you're supposed to go, but we can just go right here to the big house in town and talk to the mayor. Because that's always a good step to do. So we need to ask about, stuff like, what are we gonna do? So he tells us about the Heaven's Labyrinth and the statue that is back there, and we're like, can we go see the statue? And he's like, no! No, it's my statue, you can't go see it, Hans! And throws us out. Because he's rude. So we're gonna try again tomorrow, because he'll obviously have a change of heart in one day. So we're gonna go down and around to the inn to advance the plot, because that's all inns are good for in this game. If we explore a little bit more, we could see Fario's in town with a new friend, and Rafarga's in town as well, and Rafarga's all suited up in his armor, ready to kick some butt. He's down. We'll talk to Rafarga later. We need to go talk to the mayor again. And the key was stolen, and obviously because we asked about the key, therefore we're the ones that stole it, right? Right, so we're gonna get thrown in jail. Because every game needs an obligatory stealth sequence, right? Alright. So, like any stealth sequence, if you get caught, you're thrown back here to the start of the sequence. You gotta do it all over again. So we're gonna try not to have that happen, but sometimes the pixels can be a little weird. Especially if I start running, I get a little bit thrown off because I'm used to not having to run. I'm running at this point. Hikaru's back there doing a jog. Alright, so here we can just loop around here. Alright, this guy, we're gonna wait down here for him to turn. Turn, okay, we're gonna go up here. For him to turn, 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 okay. Only your lead character matters, by the way. Alright, so here we can just loop between those guys, hit the wall, and the top guy can't see us anymore. Alright, second floor. So here we're just gonna go down this side. I'm gonna pull back up a little bit. Okay, there we go. I was a little off in my timing there. So I waited an extra cycle. Then I have to wait for this guy here to come around. You can follow this guy all the way to the end and not have to wait another cycle in the alcove here, but I'm not good at that. It's like, not pixel perfect, but pretty close to it. So it spooks me, so I don't do it. Alright, 2 more guards. So this guy we're gonna wait until he gets all the way to the end and turns around, and then we're gonna follow him. So, go up and around. Make sure we're hitting the wall as we follow him, don't get too close. And right here, we're gonna go up into the corner, okay? Wait for him to move and go down. If I had a heart rate monitor on, you would see it spiking right there. Inspect the fireplace is Fu, because she has glasses, therefore she can see the best. And she'll notice there's footprints in there. So, first try stealth sequence. Imagine not sneaking in RP. Hi, Shentok. First try stealth sequence, second try boulder skip. So, you know, pretty decent run so far. Magic glitch has been good too, and yeah. So one more dungeon to be skipped coming up here. Anyway, at the roof there we find Fario's flute, and it's all covered in soot, just like we are, so, Fario's in town. Oh, here he is. He's covered in soot too. And he's not talking to us, because he's too busy with his new woman. Oh no. Fu isn't happy. Game has to reload the sprites there, that's why it has to do a little loading screen. And now we need to go down higher and talk to Rafarga. Suddenly went southern there, sorry. Okay. There we go. Talk to Rafarga, he's all suited up. So he gives us a plan of, hey, whoever stole the key is going to want to get into the labyrinth, right? So let's just wait and see who gets in the labyrinth, and we can see who has the key. So we're going to sit here and wait. Now's a good time to take a stretch, get hydrated, take a quick nap, make a sandwich. Not really. Hope everyone's weekends are going well. There's a lot going on this weekend, speedrun stream-wise, so I hope that you all have multiple monitors and are watching all of them. Thank you very much. So, oh no, Fario did steal the key, and he goes in with his new hot waifu, and we're gonna follow him. Water or your hydration beverage of choice. Okay, yeah, you can have Pepsi. That works too. I'm fine with Pepsi. What's your favorite flavor of Pepsi, guys? I like cherry flavor. I'm gonna wait for the platforms to line up and head back down. Alright, not first try, so we're gonna... I am jumping too late. There we go. Okay. So this is Heaven's Labyrinth skip. I know that I get it when I land, but also trigger the... I am stuck. Also trigger the screen transition at the same time. So what I'm doing is I'm jumping over that screen transition, and for whatever reason, this is the only place it works. We load the collision and exit points of a later room in the dungeon, but keeping the kind of in some surface level sprites, but keeping the map of the first room in the dungeon, and we can just walk to the exit and skip the entire dungeon. This was the first skip found in the run. Because, I believe what happened was, Mijitsu found a different skip where you can get hit by an enemy and yeeted across the room. And was able to skip part of the dungeon that way. But then also just kind of playing around and then just jumping across barriers and everything, and found this skip. Yeah, it was this one, then Tokyo Tower, which was the big one found before Limit Break 2018, was a Tokyo Tower skip. Because Rayearth was backup for Limit Break 2018, and then we found the glitch, and we're like, we're kind of glad it didn't get into the marathon, because this cuts off like 40 minutes of time. And then, yeah, then Map Glitch was found. Map Glitch was found first, and then applied to the boulder skip after that. So here's the bird boss. Let's unlock him down here. I am out of magic. That's fine. Alright, game, thank you very much for doing that. On the last hit, too. Nice. I actually don't know if it's possible to break... I think you can break the bird out of the glitch, but it's faster just to use the potions. I'm trying to think of if there's a store I could stop in to pick up another mana potion without wasting too much time. Just for backup. And I can't think of any. Because now I have no potions. But I should be fine. Just have to hit all my magic glitches. That's fine.
Curse the fortitude of Rafarga. His will was much stronger than we had anticipated.
So,
how do you wish to address this situation, dear Lord?
Not recently,
Equip
but
your
it's
armor and
relatively
go,
newish
Innova.
compared to, like,
I pray
skipping
you
the
do not
dungeon
fail.
itself.
I shall do
Or you can just
exactly
kind of walk off
as you
to
desire,
the left, to the right,
my
down there,
liege.
and he'll just circle above you the entire time. Just kind of break his AI. Kind of like breaking Jiminy's AI a little bit. If you want to see the time of the run before all the skips, you can, on SRC, there is a glitchless category. And I moved all of the runs that had been done, like any percent runs that had been done before the glitches were found to there, and you can see like what the, good time there is. Anime. I hope everybody's watching anime this season. There's a bunch of good stuff on. Like Digimon. There's a new Digimon series on, airing now. 3 episodes in. It's very good. I highly recommend it. I also recommend playing some of the Digimon video games, because those are also sometimes very good. So here we need to talk to Rafarga first. Talk to Rafarga, and then talk to the old man. Okay. We got VHS tapes, nice. I never actually bought this. Actually, I used to have one DVD of this series, but I got rid of it. I sent it to a friend, I think, because the box sets were like $150, so I never got the whole series. So this anime, the manga is 6 books total. This game covers the first 3, which also is the first season of the anime. First, I think it's like 26 episodes, I think. Then there is a second season, and there's a second half of the manga, and the second season, which are both very different from each other. There's different relationships, there's a couple new characters in the anime. I like to say the second season of the anime doesn't exist. It's okay, but some of the changes made between it and the manga are kind of meh. But then I also don't like how the manga ends, so eh. So we'll just stick with the first season being canon. It's a pretty good series. I mean, I don't like the dub. The dub is kind of meh, and I hate saying that because I don't like being a sub versus dub warrior. But from what I've heard, it's like pretty meh for a 90s dub. Yeah, well, Clamp either doesn't put together cohesive endings, or they just plain don't end stuff. Because what's that one series that like never finished? There's a few of them now. Clamp putting together a cohesive plot. Have you tried reading Tsubasa? Because holy butts. I'll say the ending to Angelic Layer, the anime Angelic Layer, is good. The manga's ending is stupid, but the anime's ending is good. I never finished Chobits, so I can't comment on that one. But I think that ending is kind of weird too. And Cardcaptor Sakura, if you just take either the original manga or the anime as its own thing and forget all the continuations, and that's pretty decent. Except for some of the weird things with the character relationships. Like the one guy and the other guy being half reincarnations. I never really understood that. That is such an old quote. I love it. I remember hearing that all over the internet. Okay, here's Rafarga. Oh, we need to fight him. He's a human boss, so I need to wait for him to attack before I hit him with magic again. This goes to physical attacks. I really don't have to. Yes. Where we bring to red and attack again. No, that didn't hit. Let him just miss timing there just a little bit. Come on. He's almost dead. He's turned red. Typing out a message, I am sorry, while mashing text. And with Rafarga dying, all of a sudden a volcano erupts. Alright, I can just travel to the map. So, volcano erupts down by Polizu village, covering it all in ash and stuff. And, all the colors of Rayearth are here. So, with that volcano erupting and destroying all of the houses and stuff, we have now opened the path to the final dungeon. And normally, throughout the rest of the game, until that flag gets tripped, there would be a boulder there, which is the boulder you have to walk around if you do map skip at that point. Alright, so we get Hikaru's final magic here, which is actually the only final magic we get in the run. Every girl learns 3 magic spells. We only ever see all 3 of Hikaru's, because we skipped Umi's 3rd level spell now, because we skipped the waterfall dungeon, and we skipped Fu's 3rd level spell, because we skipped the sky dungeon. This dungeon is a little annoying because you don't have run speed to get over some of these jumps, and you can just barely get them without run speed. Squeeze it. I can just crunch that leg. I can feel it. Alright. Watch out for the snacks. Easers. Oh, I missed the cycle. I missed the cycle again. So these I was actually just gonna say, these platforms do not count as solid ground. Alright, I'm gonna line myself up a little better here. So just, smack me. That's take that teleporter, take this teleporter. Platform cycles. I'm gonna kill this guy because if he knocks me off, then I start this part all over. I don't want to do that. If we had Fu's 3rd level spell, we could just skip this entire room and just float over the lava. But we don't get that spell anymore. Alright, and that's it for the dungeon. Just have to go through this part here, which is very easy. Just run and double back when the worms come up. Alright. Very simple final dungeon of the game, and from here on out, it's just bosses. I should have switched to Fu, actually, before starting this. So, Hikaru's final spell, Flash, does a ton of damage. Every boss dies in 3 hits to it. However, Hikaru does not have enough MP to cast Flash with all the skips we have done, and we didn't give her any MP jewels to level up. Therefore, we have to magic glitch. That was the wrong here. One more hit. Come on. Nope. The time there because she wasn't active on the screen, but she is now down. So Alcyone dies here. In the manga, I'm pretty sure she dies here too. In the anime, she does not die. For whatever reason, they keep her alive in the anime. And then she just kind of sits around and does all emo for the rest of the whole 2nd season. So, if you've been following along this plot, a lot of people have died in our travels. Everywhere we go, something bad happens, and we're just kind of like flashback, like why? Why does this happen? It kind of stinks. All of this just to save this world and save this princess. Is it really worth it in the end? But we're kind of reassured that yeah, this is all gonna work out in the end. Yeah. So far, let's see. Jiminy died. Alcyon's dead. Caldina's dead. Ascot's dead. They died off screen. We didn't see. We skipped their deaths. Rafarga is dead. Who else is dead? I think that's it. A lot of people are dead. A lot of people we've, like, made friends with are dead.
Master Zagot, I implore you, return me to my original form. The
Someone
power
that
of the
isn't
magic
dead,
knights can
that
no
is
longer
dead,
be
it does
ignored.
die in the original
It
version.
is my
of the
duty
manga
to
and
destroy
anime.
them before they
Frisia is
become
not dead.
powerful enough to threaten
She dies in the
But to
manga
accomplish
and
that,
right after
I
making
must
her
abandon
weapons, but
this
she is fine
frail
here.
shell.
So Innova gets his power limiters taken off. because, you know, they still need to stop us. They're out of other dudes to stop us with, so it's all down to him. So we do have to go, like, walk back into town before we can go over to Precious' house, because that little X there is part of the dungeon. I mean, Clamp does draw them a good dude. Legs for days. Alright, so we go through that closed door that never opened. Somehow that, I think, well, because when we glitched the map transition, that still counts. And we'll go over here and talk to Precia. Luckily, this flag is tripped. Thankfully, like, the way the flags work in this game, they kind of stack on top of each other, so newer ones take precedence over older ones. So even though, like, we still see the sprite of Makona in the chair there, we're in the endgame flag for Precia here. Because if we didn't trip the endgame flag, we'd probably walk in here and trigger the, hey, Makona is in the chair and we get captured and stuff like that cutscene that we totally skipped. Happening earlier. Just a funny little graphical leftover from not doing all that. Right, I think I have Hikaru active right now, right? I want to switch to Fu. I want to keep Fu actives for the boss. There's 2 more bosses left that we need to magic glitch. I don't know why my computer started thinking all of a sudden. It started making the thinking noise, and I'm like, what are you doing? Okay. Stop thinking, computer. Be head empty, no thoughts. So anyway, Anova shows up. He transforms into his form. He's a giant pupper. So I guess this is part of Animal Block still, because he's a giant dog. Yeah, if you think, there's a lot of animals in this game. There's this dog, there's the one that we summoned in the Flash spell. I think Makona counts as an animal, so this is just an animal game. Animals and anime. We're kimono friends up here. Alright, so nice start. Yeah, that didn't hit. Please don't. And before he gets to the Flash, 2 more after this one. He does count as a human boss, so I have to wait for him to stop flashing. Alright, stop flashing. His iframes are random. Okay, just let me know. Not bad. So just have to be careful with his iframes and his attacks. He actually got an attack off that time, which kind of stinks, but whatever. 1 more boss that we have to magic glitch, and then we can stop doing that. And I can stop being kind of stare at hitting magic glitch properly with no potions. Anyway, let's talk to Clef here. This is the point of no return. As he says, once we head to the castle, we cannot go back. So get everything done, get all your side quests done. This game does have a couple little minor side quests where you can find these, like, rainbow amulet jewel things in different dungeons. some you do have to go back to, because once you get, like, Fu's, last spell, you can go back and get them, and once you get the swim, you can go back and get others and stuff like that. And you can go trade those in for bonus items at the Rainbow Junction shop, and it also like unlocks outtakes and the illustrated diary. If you unlock all of them, you get like a Nova's diary and stuff like that. It's fun. I need to do a 100% run of this game again because I don't have my 100% save file anymore. Alright, so we're at the Evil People's Lair now, and we're gonna go fight Zagot. So he gives us a few words to chew on before starting the fight. So I have to do active spells. The meteor spell can instant kill me because I have so few HP. But still. Let's not beat this. Meteor. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. I don't have enough magic, so I'm gonna take that here. Unless I can poke him to death with pistol shots. Unfortunate. I was pretty ahead of my splits. But Hikaru does not have enough MP to cast this flash spell, and Fu was out and Umi was dead. So I had no one to switch to for the magic glitch. Unfortunate. But, we'll just try again. So like I said, the meteor spell can one-hit shot me. I don't even know how much damage it does other than a lot. And I had one hit to go too, which stinks. Just, I think he's guaranteed to do the meteor spell. Also didn't help that I ran out of magic on food, so. Could have been better. I don't like dying, but when you die, you just get sent back to right before the boss. And this is an RPG, right? We've been playing an action RPG this entire time, right? Yeah. Okay. We're gonna get a genre change right now. Sorry if anyone was expecting a big final RPG final boss. We're a shmup now. Hope you like shmups. Of course he blocked my first shot. Alright, so Eternal Spiral. He does bees. Post your favorite bee moves. Brought into me, dude. Thanks. Bees? He loves spike. Yep. I'm trying not to get hit. What are you doing? Bees? Bees. Nope. Okay. Thanks, dude. Thanks, just hit me. So, why am I using Fu there? Because all of Fu's arrows do damage by themselves, and the more that hit him, the more damage he takes. But now Fu's dead. Let's get running. Bees everywhere! damage to the boss otherwise. And again, he's kind of human type, so we have to wait for him to attack before we can attack him again. So as you can see, I hit him there, and it's not doing anything. Oh, it did do something. Okay. Oh, and I broke his arm thingy. That is rare these days. He's gonna charge again. This hurt box is weird as well, so swipe. When he's lower on health, he doesn't do the plays as often. Come on, attack, please. Thank you. Swipe. Swipe. Alright, not bad. You can beat him very quickly if you line up your food shots properly and hit him with as many arrows as possible without him blocking it, and then, like, bees. With most anime, what am I watching? It's anime. Just turn your brain off and watch the cute girls do things. Because that's what, at its core, anime is just all about cute girls doing things. I like shmups, I'm just really bad at shmups. Alright, so we beat Zagat. He's completely gone and dead now. So now we can go find the princess, and we told Clef that, hey, you should come with us, and he's like, no, I'll just stay here and let you guys handle things. And we're like, what? But don't you want to see your princess? And, well, here she is, it's the princess, yeah, we're gonna save her, we're gonna take her outside and show her, like, we saved the world, and, she asked, did we kill Zagat? And we're like, yes, and she's like, well, I can't forgive you, you killed the one I love. And we're like, what?
Because,
the way Sephiroth works is there is a pillar, that princess in this case, a pillar praying for the safety of the world, and because she got distracted by falling in love with her priest, she stopped praying, and the world started being invaded by monsters and stuff, and bad things started happening, so she decided that in order to end things, because she didn't want to fall out of love with Zagat, they decided kind of mutually that he'd kidnap her and set up the whole plot for her to summon the Magic Knights to come and kill her. To save the world as a whole. So, currently in our state now, we cannot do anything against her power, and she just, one-shots us. We need to be stronger, and all that fun stuff. We need to Voltron our 3 giant robots together. Oh, this is a giant robot show too, by the way, because it's not anime without giant robots. So using Makona's power. Makona, by the way, is the god of the world for some reason, because clamp. Alright. Lightning, lasers, orbs, sparks, fireballs. Lightning, lasers, orbs, sparks, fireballs. This boss has a set pattern. I'm gonna go quiet here. I will call out time when it's done. And of course I can. Pattern, lightning, lasers, orbs, sparks, fireballs. You only need to destroy her head
work,
to kill her. You can destroy all the other parts, so she won't attack as much. Once you destroy all the other parts, she'll start like rotating her head to do her lasers move at you. Like each of her horns is apart, each of her arms is apart, her shoulders are apart. You only need to destroy the middle. Yeah, she does a lot of damage. You do have a magic spell you can use. I can fire it off once as like a
Princess
emergency button if I'm gonna get hit.
Umi and Fu.
Yeah, so that's Magic Knight Rare. Final boss is a little anticlimactic because you can just show up in her face and smash her to death. So
the strength of your mind and spirit
I will let the
is the
final
most powerful magic of all. But Emerald! Wow!
final cutscene play out here, and gotta say thanks for having me at this Valuethon. Aw. Cat on keyboard. Aw, thank you, Cat. Thank you, Cat, for supporting anime. By the way, that was a PB by about a minute. So that was a PB for me. Thank you all for watching my PB. My cat didn't bother me all run, so that's very good. So yeah. Continue watching Valuethon. It's been really great seeing this. I highly recommend playing this game if you can get a copy of it. Anyway, play it through. It's about like a 10-hour game casually. It's very good. Yeah, something like that. Very minor PB with the death. But yeah, thanks for having me and enjoy the rest of the marathon, and I will see you around places. If you want to watch, if you have 2 monitors, you can come watch Really Longathon, because I'm doing another run of this game very soon, except it's glitchless in the Japanese version. So if you have 2 monitors, watch that and watch Valuethon. So have fun, everyone. Thank you.